We are top of the Premier League table. I know it's only one game in, but Newcastle United have just beaten Aston Villa by 5-1. There were 6 goals in this game, and there's 6 of us. I'm really good at maths. This is the last word. Yeah, we are back here at St James's Park. The sun is shining, the birds are singing, and Newcastle United are top of the Premier League table. We have got an amazing 6 people to discuss this win. And a big welcome to this young man as well. First time properly on camera for a match day as well. Andrew is here, Lee is here, Carl is here, Adam is here, Harry is here. We're all very, very happy. Happy Harry, tell us about that starting 11. Because Harvey Barnes didn't start, Anthony Gordon's given the nod. No Sean Longstaff, it was Sandro Tonali. Were you happy with the team?
I was happy, yeah. I was a little bit surprised. I thought Barnes would have started over Gordon on that left-hand side, but other than that, no complaints. I thought that was exactly what Eddie Howe would do, provided Fabian Schär was fit. Which he obviously he's absolutely not. But yeah, no. In terms of starting 11, obviously, I wasn't surprised, but I was a little bit surprised that Sandro Tonali and Bruno looked very much like a 2, and Joe Linton was playing up alongside Isak, which I was surprised about because I didn't really think that worked. But yeah, no, it was fair 11 from Eddie Howe.
It was a fair 11. Just a quick one on Aston Villa. Moussa Diaby started, the man that Newcastle were linked with for a lot. When you look at that Villa team, it is quite strong on paper. Were you a bit concerned, Adam?
I was initially. My prediction was 1-1, so I was worried. Diaby, to be fair, was the strongest player. Mings went off early. It was pretty weak, but I thought they missed him, to be fair, when he went off. But now we bossed them start to finish. One of the best debuts I've seen in a black and white top. 100% deserved the win. Just didn't see that result coming, to be fair. No,
nobody saw that result coming. I don't think even the most
I know someone who did.
Yeah, one person did. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. But Carl, this is a big game for you personally. You're from the Midlands and Newcastle fan, born and bred. But what a start! What a start for Newcastle United. What a start by Sandro Tonali. Great cross from Anthony Gordon down the left-hand side after Bruno's shot was saved by Emiliano Martinez. And like good attacking midfielders would do, get onto the end of the cross. If the striker can't get there, he beats the Aston Villa defender and Newcastle 1-0 up. Pandemonium, Carl.
Oh, it was absolutely fucking unreal. Me and my brother nearly ended up on the pitch again, as per. I've had to keep hold of him as he's going over the advertising boards. But as you can hear, we've just been shouting all the way through. It is a personal one. I don't really want to get on their cases too much because at the end of the day, they've come into this thinking that they're on our level and that it's a good test for them, and we've just fucking blown them away. That's it. I've got nothing else to say. Nothing else to say.
The one negatively, and I know I'll let you have your little rant in a minute about Aston Villa, but Moussa Diaby, the man, of course, that Newcastle have been linked with for the last 18 months or so since the takeover, did get on the score sheet. Good finish, but any fault on the defence for you in particular, or do you think Nick Pope should do better because he is a bit blindsided as well?
I don't care.
I know. I don't even know why I'm saying it, but
I don't really care. I thought he was tidy. Like I thought you could see why we were after him. Like there's a few times he was getting around Botman, and Dan Burn in particular took his goal really well. The finish was brilliant. So surprised to see him play was more or less as a 2 up front with him and Watkins, but equalised, and that was the only ever time we heard the Villa fans.
Yeah, they were very quiet second half. I wonder why, but we'll discuss that in a second. Andrew, 2-1 to Newcastle. Excuse me, 2-1 to Newcastle. Alexander Isak. Stop it. Yeah, 2-1 to Newcastle for Alexander Isak. Kieran Trippier plays a short free kick to Sandro Tonali. What a ball by Tonali. Botman just onside. Plays it back to Alexander Isak, who puts it away. It was a bit edgy, bit nervy, but the referee said yes, it will be 2-1 Newcastle. And that was probably the crucial moment of the game, in my opinion. Do you agree?
Yeah, first of all, good evening. Look, I said 5-0 before we came, but I said that, and even I wasn't expecting just how good we were there. Isaac's just got that little bit of extra sauce that I've not seen a Newcastle striker have before. Tonali's spraying the balls around like it's nothing. Bruno's looking at him confused, like he can't even do that. If that's our Champions League competition, then bring on Champions League again next year.
Can I just say on Tonali as well? This is the first time because I've seen him all pre-season. Bit of swagger about him. Bit of confidence. I think he enjoyed that today.
Unplayable today. Yeah. Unplayable.
I think he knows he had nothing to prove in pre-season, and he's just proved.
He was shit against Rangers, Carl.
He's just walked on there and just embarrassed everybody, and even our own players. Like Andrew just said, they're just looking at him like, "Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are?"
Said, "Who do you think you are?"
I got 5 on it.
Villa had a lot of possession, but the biggest talking point just before half-time, Harry, Emiliano Martinez getting yellow carded. What was your view of it? Do you think that Aston Villa should have gone down to 10 men? Because there was an incident with Nick Pope. I know it was slightly different in terms of he handballed out of the penalty area, or the box, I should say. But Emiliano Martinez had no desire to try and get the ball from Miguel Almiron. He got himself in the right pickle. Do you think was he lucky to stay on the pitch?
So, difficult, because on paper it's probably like 99% certain a yellow card. But as you say, he had no intention of getting the ball there. He's just gone for the man. So I don't see why that couldn't be considered as a red card. If that goes to VAR, it's a nailed-on red card. But the letter of the law probably says it's a yellow card. So it's difficult to say, really.
It is an interesting one. What's your view, Adam, on that?
It's a yellow card. If that happened to Nick Pope, I know what you're saying about the Liverpool game, but Martinez was very much out wide in that one, and there was 2 defenders behind him.
Does that make a difference if he's not going for any attempt at the ball?
It's football. It's a yellow card for me in the position he is. If that happened to Nick Pope and he got sent off, I'd have been annoyed. But it doesn't really matter. We put 5 past him anyway.
We certainly did.
World Cup winning goalkeeper. Look, bang average. So.
He certainly did. He had to put the ball out of his net 5 times today. Adam, I just want to continue with you with Alexander Isak, because you've been a big fan of Alexander Isak, and he was just a menace to that Aston Villa defence. You can put Pau Torres, you can put Diego Carlos, you can put Tyrone Mings, who obviously got a bad injury. Hopefully he's all right. But in terms of Ezri Konsa, what a big mistake by Ezri Konsa and Alexander Isak. Thank you very much. I've got the World Cup goalkeeper. I'll just nick it past him and make it 3-1. What a finish.
It doesn't really matter who's playing against him. I think he's a massive shout for Golden Boot this year in the Premier League. I said to Andrew before we came on, I said, every time he gets the ball at his feet, someone's going to happen. I said he should have started out left today on my preview, because I rate Callum Wilson as well. But in terms of how when you bring an Isak off after 60, 70 minutes and bring Callum Wilson on, you're not in a bad position, and Wilson did the business as well. But honestly, Isak is probably going to be one of the best centre-forwards in the league this year in terms of when he gets the ball, something's going to happen. Something is going to happen, and he just carries this team when we go forward. It's brilliant to see.
There was a big moment, Carl, just twist and turn. There was a big moment at 3-1. Aston Villa, Diaby, I thought was an absolute menace for most of the game from an Aston Villa point of view. But Sven Botman, who twisted and turned, had a shot inside the box, good save by Nick Pope, and Matty Cash blazes it into the John Hall stand, and that was a big let-off, but it didn't last long, because Newcastle United made it 4-1, and do you know what it is? For me, it could have been 4-1 a little bit before that. We had chances, but Callum Wilson, you can never keep a poor man down. And the thing is as well, he's probably so annoyed and so pissed off that he didn't start today. That's just the confidence of him. But what a finish!
Fantastic finish. It's just a testament to the backroom staff and Eddie Howe for being able to manage the 2 of them so effectively. Like you say, him coming off the bench, scoring. Harvey Barnes not starting, coming off the bench, getting an assist, and then scoring. It's the chemistry between the whole of the backroom staff and the players is just unbelievable to see. The fact that Harvey Barnes and Sandro Tonali, we haven't seen Livramento yet, but the fact that those 2 at the very least seem to have bedded in so quickly is just it's frightening. I don't really know where the ceiling is, and obviously you don't want to get carried away, but I think it's fair to say that we all looked at Aston Villa on paper and thought they'll definitely be a contender for something this season. Looks like they had a good transfer window so far, so to put us so far apart from them after the first game is it's hard not to get carried away.
It is difficult, it really, really is. Emiliano Martinez has made a wonderful save. It's an absolute worldie of a save. Let's give him a little bit of credit to where, Barnes plays it through to Wilson, and you think it's just a tap in. And it wasn't quite 5-1 there, but it certainly was a little bit later. Mr. Lawler, Harvey Barnes in the same area. He's not going to miss them from there. And we saw the goal last week in the Cellar Cup, the magnificent Cellar Cup, which we won, by the way. Remember that. But yeah, Harvey Barnes makes it 5-1. The cherry on top of a lovely cake.
I just want to say, why have we put the shortest lads at the bottom of the hill and the tallest? Yeah, do you know what it is? It's a finish that was quite funny enough. You mentioned the Cellar Cup, it was quite similar to that. Coming through from that left-hand side, 10 yards out, slots at bottom corner. Fantastic home debut. There's loads of positives today. I think, I know you want to come back to the Villa for me and Carl, but everybody should get on Twitter and have a go at Villa Watch, please, tonight. I beg you. I fucking beg you all. I'll even give him free publicity tonight. There's a link in the description. Go and have a look at his Twitter underneath this video. Give him some love.
Andrew, what a game, what a performance. And look, before we go into the second half of the last words, just a big word for the defence, because Kieran Trippier I thought was outstanding. Dan Burn, look, he had moments where it was difficult, but the defence looks quite solid, and it's just so good to see, isn't it?
Same again, same as last season. It's just we're one of the best defences in Europe for a reason, you know. It's just so solid. And I mean, like Newcastle's defence, we're all in height order here. But it's just, look, Dan Burn gets doubted week in, week out. But
good standing next to you, Steve.
Look, Dan Burn gets doubted week in, week out. But like, watching him in pre-season, he's quicker than target. He holds his man well. I mean, Diaby giving problems here and there, but apart from that, can't really fault his like play the whole game performance. Sorry, but like, well, any of the performances you can't really nitpick, can you? Really, 5-1 against Champions League rivals.
Champions League rivals, Aston Villa. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Let's hear from Eddie Howe, because look, he's a manager that's sitting at the top of the Premier League table tonight, and he probably will be like that for the next probably 6 or 7 days. Eddie, how good were Newcastle United today?
Consider it's his first game in England, and how he approached the game, how calm he was before the match. He's taken a lot of information on, and in terms of how we play and what we expect of him, he's just taken it in his stride, and I thought he deserved to start today, and yeah, he was magnificent for us. Lots of different things. I think our energy and our fitness levels really stood out for me. The longer the game went on, the stronger we looked. Aston Villa are a good team, and they made it difficult for us. Although it's 5-1 and it could have been more, they still gave us problems. And that's the Premier League for you. The level's so high. So I thought it was a really good game. I hope everybody enjoyed it, and we're really pleased to win.
And we're back. Top of the Premier League table. Ta-da, there's the table. There you go, top of the Premier League table. I know it's only one game in, Harry, but what a statement to put out, because we've got a bit of a difficult game next week against the treble-winning, amazing Manchester City. But what a statement to put out for the rest of the league.
Well, exactly. You can't really ask for much more of a better start, winning 5-1 at home. Obviously, it is a difficult game next week, Man City away. You couldn't really, on paper, get a harder game, and we've obviously got the most difficult start. But bring it on. You know, Newcastle United are not here to be messed with, and what a statement to put out, as I say. 5-1 opening game. Goals from everyone who would want to score. Isak scoring twice. Wilson, Barnes. Exactly what you'd want.
It was a perfect afternoon. Adam, tell me about Sandro Tonali a little bit. We'll have to talk about him a little bit more, because, look, first game in the Premier League, oh my God. It looked like he played 300, 400 Premier League games today. Yeah. For people that maybe haven't watched it in the grounds and maybe watched it on television, what are those differences that you can see watching him live, and why does he make the whole midfield click?
I think the urgency of wanting the ball is second to none. I didn't think it started today. I thought he wasn't ready for it today. Proved wrong, obviously, which I don't mind. But I've never seen a player, one of the best debuts I've ever seen. I've seen some debuts, that is one of the best. I've never seen a player want the ball so much. He's literally, and when he gets the ball, I don't remember him giving it away once. I really don't. Every ball, I think he got an assist, he got a goal. The son, 23-year-old, 22? It's unbelievable playing that level of football.
Frightening, isn't it?
At that age. And we don't get players like that often. So, as Andy said before, Bruno was looking around going, will you just calm down, kid? You know, that's my job to get these fans. You know, and the fans were behind him. People having a go at him, saying he looks miserable on camera. He's playing football at a high level. And we've still got the Champions League to come. You can't get the ball off him. When he's got it, he's picking these passes. I was very much surprised how good he was. Very surprised.
Enough time to tuck his shirt back in as well.
Yeah, he was very good. I thought Longstaff at start. You got Willock, Anderson, Miley.
Great competition for places.
Great competition. Not going to get in that free. Unless there's a bad injury. Longstaff will be frustrated. Anderson will be. As much as we all want them to play, Tonali's arguably at the minute better than Bruno, footballing wise.
One thing
on
is
that
as well,
debut. On that debut.
You say Willock, Anderson, Miley. Only one of them was on the bench today, so there's so much room for competition for places. It's mental.
It's just absolutely crazy. Carl, Joe Linton for me, absolutely immense again. And I thought it was a right tussle, but he got especially second half. People keep doubting him in terms of the media, in terms of non-Newcastle fans. They think, Curtis Jones should get into Newcastle's midfield. Who does he get in front of? Because Joe Linton for me was absolutely superb. Bruno Guimaraes, and Sandro Tonali just absolutely bossed that midfield. So does Joe Linton drop out for Curtis Jones?
Joe Linton's in the top 5 best centre midfielders in the Premier League, no questions. That's it.
I just want you to elaborate a little bit more, because again, people will be watching this and going, Joe Linton's not that good, Carl. He's not that good. Why is he that good?
Because he's an absolute enforcer. When he gets on the ball, he's like a battering ram, but he's got unbelievably good technique and control. At the same time, he's quick. He's very difficult to get off the ball. He doesn't have to be one of those. He doesn't have to be a mercurial player like Alan Saint-Maximin. He's a midfield general. Like, he does everything that he has to. He allows people like Bruno and Tonali to play, and when he needs to get forward, he can do. Obviously, none of us saw that coming when we first signed him. None of us. And he's just transformed into an all-round midfielder. Do you know? He reminds me of a Moussa Sissoko when he was on his day. Was excellent when he was on his day, and I think Joe Linton is just like tenfold.
It's on you.
No, he's that sort of player, but he's far more consistent. Moussa Sissoko, you know, he was heartless at times, and he didn't do anywhere near good enough for Newcastle on a consistent basis. But at times he was excellent, and Joe Linton does that week in, week out.
He certainly does, Lee. We never doubt Eddie Howe. There's always question marks going, I probably would have done this, I probably would have done that. Is that just another reminder, just let him get on with it because he knows what he's doing and talking about?
I kind of get into how good of a start. We're not really great starters over the years. Last 15, 20 years, we're always playing catch-up. Obviously, last season was a little bit different at the start, but that was just, after their goal, it was almost like I wouldn't say complete performance, but it was near enough to start the season. I can't remember off the top of my head battering a team like that at the start. You might say, you caught one a bad day, it's the first game of the season, you might get an odd freak result, and you might get a freak result towards the end of the season, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of media, and I've heard it all week on TalkSport and national radio saying Aston Villa are going to finish ahead above Newcastle. None of us have bit, none of us have come out and said it. Well, I would like those people now to come out and say the same thing, because you look rather silly saying that, because Aston Villa's best team in years, probably, since maybe going away back since since Dion Dublin, Paul Merson.
Best manager as well, don't forget. Best manager.
All they had to say last year was the fact that it was Steven Gerrard in charge, and that then they battered us at Villa Park.
20 minutes ago, there was no Villa fans left. There wasn't. No. They didn't stick behind the team.
There weren't fans in the league.
It's just for you. I'll put that graphic on just right now for you.
Huh?
For that graphic, I'll just put that on right now.
Awful fans.
Andrew, let's finish it off with you, mate.
I haven't finished
Go
yet.
on then.
Because he wants to say on Villa. We've got to give him the moment. This is the one game that I fucking hate their fan base. Them and Evertonians. Because I can't stand Villa fans throughout the amount of years. I get it's banter and the relegation that's carried on, but this is a moment for me, because obviously going to Villa Park at the end of the season, we got battered, and like Carl says, we deserve to get battered, but I cannot fucking stand their fan base, and this is the moment that I'll enjoy the night. Villa fans, hello, how are you doing?
Andrew, they laughed at us when we went down, but who the fuck is laughing now? I think that is the song of the night, isn't it?
Isn't it true? And I mean, I've got half of my family are Blues, half of them are Villa. So, Aaron, Michael, Aidan,
Up the fucking Blues.
No, honestly, I mean, like I said before, look, I said 5-0 to you before, and I kind of backed it, but no one could have expected that. We just look amazing, and like I said, if that's the Champions League opposition, we've got to, the Champions League rivals for places. I mean, that introduces us to this big six. I mean, Tottenham losing Harry Kane, they're nowhere near. I think we are the big six now. We're the dogs to come up here. Anyone that comes up challenge, no one's going to want to come up here and play us. That atmosphere, no one stands a chance up here, man.
Yeah. Just a quick thing, just on the safe standing as well, much better in terms of the Gallagher. The noise was just so much better as well. And I'll take one, mate. Why not? Cheers, buddy. And a programme as well for free.
We can give that to Sam Mulliner.
Actually, yeah, we will. There you go, Sam.
Pig well today, so I missed the game.
I've never
love you for that.
I love that.
It's his home club as well, Aston Villa.
I know. Villa Mags.
Villa Mags.
No, that is a really important question. What do you think?
He's on the sofa the night.
He definitely is. Yeah, what a game. Get in your comments below. Who was your man of the match? How good is Sandro Tonali? How good is Alexander Isak at football? And how mint are Newcastle United in general? Because we seriously see some. Quick one, man of the match.
Tonali, just.
I don't know. I thought Gordon was excellent, to be fair. I'm going to go with Gordon, yeah.
Do you want to speak some sense?
Tonali head and shoulders above it. No, right, everyone was great, but Tonali, different gravy.
Yeah, same. Tonali. Brilliant.
Alexander Isak for me. I thought he had Villa's defence. I thought he had the Villa's defence on toast, and Tyrone Mings was sitting in hospital. Alexander Isak is the man. Yeah, Adam's just making me laugh behind camera as well. But yeah, look, get your comments in. We're top of the Premier League. All the reaction is with us here at Newcastle Fans TV, and we'll be at Manchester City next week at the Etihad, Saturday night, 8 o'clock. Saturday night, 8 o'clock. And what I can mention to you as well, just because Carl's just reminded me, just finally, we are now sponsored by Green King, or Green King Pub. So if you want to get down to the junction next to the Haymarket, Carl and Sam will be there to talk with fans as Newcastle take on Manchester City, the battle of the top two, fighting for the title. Possibly, who knows? But yeah, make sure you get along because Carl and Sam will be there. But yeah, very, very happy and delighted that Green King are now a sponsor of Newcastle Fans TV. But that is a massive video that he's probably going to have to edit, and I wish him all the very best. But Newcastle United at the top of the Premier League table, like and subscribe to Newcastle Fans TV.
Come on, my boys!
We'll see you all very soon.